My whole life, I've struggled with consistency. Setting a goal, quitting, then setting the same damn goal again. And every time I could hear the voice in my head, if you had just stayed consistent, you'd already be there by now. I thought something was wrong with me. Then I read the book The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And for the first time, consistency actually made sense. In this video, I'll share 20 lessons from the book that will help you understand why you keep quitting and show you how to build momentum that doesn't break. Number 1, the invisible war. Right now, this exact second, your life is moving, not staying still, moving, either curving up or curving down. You skipped the gym today? You didn't stay the same. You curved down a little. You read 10 pages today? You curved up a little. Here's the terrifying part. The two curves, success and failure, look almost identical at the start. Day 1, the guy eating salads and the guy eating burgers look the same. Day 30, still the same. Day 100, barely any difference. But day 1000, completely different bodies, different energy, different lives. This is why most people stay stuck. They can't see the curve moving, so they think nothing's happening. That's because most days, the curve only moves 0.01%. Too small to notice, too powerful to escape. But something is always happening. Every single day. Here's what this means for you. Every day, ask yourself this question. Is what I'm doing right now moving me up or down? Because if you keep making choices that curve up, no matter how small, you will end up at the top. And if you keep making choices that curve down, no matter how harmless they seem, you will end up at the bottom. You just need to win the next decision, then the next, then the next. The war is invisible, but it is not optional. You're already fighting it. Number 2, the easiest problem in the world. Here's the thing about success in anything. The things you need to do are easy. Read 10 pages a day. Work out for 30 minutes. Save a little money each month. You have known this since you were 13. So, if it's so easy, why don't you do it? Because what is easy to do is also easy not to do. Read 10 pages today? Easy. Skip it and watch Netflix? Also easy. Save $100 this month? Easy. Spend it on something dumb? Also easy. And here's the trap. When you skip those small, easy things, nothing bad happens today. You skip the gym? No heart attack. You eat the junk? No weight gain overnight. So you skip again and again. Then 5 years pass, and you look up from the bottom of the failure curve and wonder, how did I get here? The answer? 1,000 invisible skips. Here's what this means for you. Starting today, pay attention to the small choices you make every day. Things like this: water or cola, read or scroll. 1 year from now, your life will be the result of these choices. Don't fall into the trap of thinking the future will magically give you more time or focus. It won't. Life doesn't get easier. It only gets busier. So choose wisely. Number 3, the rocket that failed 97% of the time. The Apollo rocket landed on the moon. It's one of humanity's greatest achievements. But here's what happened before it landed. It didn't fly in a straight line. The rocket was off course 97% of the time. To handle this, the engineers designed a system inside it to bring it back on track every time it drifted. Every few minutes, the system asked, "Are we off?" "Yes." "How far?" "This much." "Correct it." Done. Over and over, thousands of tiny adjustments. It drifted, corrected, drifted again, corrected again, and it still landed on the moon. This is how your success works. You will drift off course. You'll eat the pizza, skip the workout, waste the week, fall back into old patterns. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're normal. And you need to correct it. Here's what you do when you slack off. Fell off your diet? Don't restart from day one. Just correct today. Miss a week of work? Don't spiral into shame. Correct tomorrow. The winners aren't the ones who never drift. They're the ones who never stop correcting. Number 4, the flywheel revelation. Imagine a giant flywheel, 5,000 pounds, 30 feet wide, massive. Your job is to get it spinning as fast as possible. When you first push, it barely moves, but you keep pushing and it starts moving 1 inch. Then you push again, 2 inches. Your arms are burning, but you keep going. Slowly, it starts to turn. 1 rotation, 2, 5, 10, 50. Suddenly, it's spinning on its own, effortlessly. Someone walks in and asks, "What was the one big push that made it spin so fast? Was it the first push? The 5th? The 100th?" No, it was all of them added together. It's like seeing someone fit and asking, "At which gym visit did you become fit? The first day? The 60th day? The second year?" No, it was all the visits combined. And here's what you can learn. Stop asking, "What's the one thing that'll change everything?" But ask, "Am I pushing my flywheel today?" Number 5, the tortoise lie. You know the story. Tortoise versus hare. Slow and steady wins. Look, there's nothing great about being slow. The key word here is steady. The hare's problem wasn't speed, it was stopping. He sprinted, then stopped. The tortoise wasn't fast, but it didn't stop. That's momentum. Physics says a body in motion tends to stay in motion. Once you're moving, it's easier to keep moving. Once you stop, it's hard to start again. Imagine this. 2 men want to build a business. The first works on it every day. The second one works really hard on Sunday, then stops for 6 days. Even though he does the same total work as the first guy, but they get completely different results. Because when he stops, he kills the momentum. Every time you stop, you start from 0 again. So don't be fast, be consistent. Small, daily action beats big, weekly bursts. Number 6, the reason why your plan failed. One area where I kept failing was my diet. I set clear rules for how much I would eat and made a plan. By the end of the day, I would allow myself small exceptions. 1 slice of cake, 1 apple, an extra banana. 1 small cheat led to another, and every time it happened, I trusted myself a little less. Before I knew it, I had drifted completely off the plan. When I started to analyze why this kept happening, I realized something important. At the root of it was a belief that a little cheating was acceptable. That belief is a philosophy, and philosophy is what decides whether you win or lose. Your philosophy is how you see the world. If you believe small actions don't matter, you'll be inconsistent. But if you believe everything compounds, you'll take every action seriously, and consistency becomes automatic. 2 people can watch the same video, follow the same plan. 1 builds a fortune, 1 stays broke. Same information, different philosophy. So stop looking for new tactics. Start examining your beliefs. Do you truly believe that 1 focused hour a day compounds? Or do you believe you can skip today and fix it later? Change your philosophy. Keep going even when you don't see results. See them or not, the results of what you do every day are coming. Number 7, the bad days secret. Even positive people have bad days. Jeff says some mornings he wakes up in a funk, life feels heavy, He doesn't want to get out of bed. When this happens, the first thing he does is count his blessings. Like, I have people who love me. I have great relationships. I'm healthy. I have a great business. I love what I do. But sometimes the funk still doesn't go away. And here's what he learned. We need to embrace the bad days too. You can't know happiness if you've never felt sadness. You can't understand love if you've never felt loneliness. Now here's what you can do. When the funk hits, don't pretend it isn't there. Embrace it. But don't let it stop you completely. Take one tiny action, one page of gratitude, one push-up. It's not about feeling good every day. It's about moving forward even when you don't feel like it. And when you push through those hard days, you'll be surprised by what happens. Just yesterday, after working on this script, I had to go to the gym, but I was so exhausted. I wanted to lie down and pretend I was dead. The last thing I wanted to do was train. But somehow, I pushed myself to go and train for at least 20 minutes. And guess what happened? It turned into one of the best training sessions I've ever had. The lesson for all of us is this: bad days aren't a signal to stop. They're a reminder to take one small step forward anyway. Number 8, the farmer's secret. Ask a farmer, can you plant a seed today and harvest tomorrow? Of course, no. There's a step between planting and harvesting. It's called cultivation, and it takes time. You plant, you water, you wait, you protect, you wait more. The seed is underground, invisible. You can't see growth, but it's happening. Then, after a full season, you harvest. Most people want to skip cultivation. They join the gym, plant, and expect abs in 2 weeks, harvest. They start a business, plant, and expect profits in a month, harvest. When it doesn't happen, they say, this doesn't work. No, you didn't work long enough. Look, your job isn't to harvest yet. Your job is to cultivate, even when you see nothing. The farmer doesn't dig up the seed every day to check if it's growing. He trusts the process. Can you? Number 9, the shoe shine woman's mistake. One day, Jeff went to get his shoes shined. The woman shining his shoes was friendly. While she worked, she mentioned her daughter, a cheerleader who had won a competition. There was a summer camp she dreamed of attending. But her mom couldn't afford the uniform, the flight, and the tuition fees. As Jeff listened, he noticed something next to her stand, a novel. She loved to read novels when there were no customers. And Jeff's heart sank. He thought, what if she had spent those 5 years differently? Not romance novels, but 10 pages a day of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, or The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, or any other book about money, business, and mindset. She'd have a completely different mind, different life. Most people never do this. In fact, over 80% of people don't even read one finance book a year. 10 pages a day equals 3,650 pages a year. That's 12 to 15 life-changing books every single year. Imagine you do this for 5 years. That is 60 life-changing books. Most of your friends won't even read one. The lesson is simple. You're already filling your spare time with something. The question is, what are you feeding your brain during that time? Junk content builds a junk mind. Quality input builds a quality life. Number 10, the 80% who disappear. When Jeff's daughter entered college, she was intimidated by the smarter students. So Jeff told her, just show up to class every day and study for 2 hours a day. 3 weeks later, she called, Dad, remember that class with 400 students? Only 80 are showing up now. That's how the world works. In just 3 weeks, 80% were nowhere to be found. 4 years later, she graduated at the top of her class. not because she was the smartest, but because she stayed when everyone else left. The lesson for you is this: your competition isn't as scary as you think. Most people quit in month 1. They get bored, they get distracted. If you just keep showing up, you win by default. The secret isn't being the best, it's keep showing up every day. Number 11, the frog problem. 5 frogs sit on a lily pad. One decides to jump off. So how many are left? You probably answered 4. And that's wrong. There are still 5. Why? Because that one frog just decided to jump. He didn't do it. He's still there, thinking about jumping. Think of this. You've decided to start the business. You've decided to get in shape. You've decided to change your life. You've watched the videos, read the books, made the plans, but you haven't moved. You're still on the lily pad. Here's what you need to learn. The journey doesn't start when you decide, it starts when you do. So do the one thing you've been deciding to do. Not tomorrow, today. You have to jump off the lily pad. Number 12, the incomplete vampire. There's a hidden force draining your energy every day. Not your job, not your commute. It's everything you haven't finished. That unreturned phone call, that half-done project, that person you owe an apology. Every incomplete thing in your life is like a tiny vampire, sucking your focus, draining your momentum, pulling you backward into the past. You can't move forward while you're chained to 100 unfinished things. Now, here's what you can do. Make a list of everything incomplete in your life, every unpaid debt, every unkept promise, every unfinished task. Then kill them, one by one. Not all at once, one per day if needed. Clear the past, release the vampires. That's how you get your energy back. Number 13, the integrity test. Integrity is what you do when no one's watching. Imagine this. It's late at night, you're tired and hungry. There's a burger place nearby, fast and easy. You promised yourself you'd eat clean this week, but no one's watching. And one meal won't ruin your life. And technically you're right, but here's what's really happening. You're deciding who you are when no one's watching. And that's what integrity is. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, when it's hard, when no one sees, you build self-trust. Every time you break it, even small ones, you chip away at your foundation. And you feel it. That quiet disappointment. That voice saying, "You always do this." Here's what you can do. Avoid saying, "just this once." Win the private battles, because who you are in secret is who you really are. Number 14, the reflection trap. Most people plan forward. They write to-do lists, but then they don't do it. Here's a better system. Don't just plan forward, but also reflect backward, daily and weekly. Did you do the things that matter, or did you just stay busy? This reflection shows how committed you've been. Here's how to apply this to your life. At the end of each day, review your day. At the end of each week, review again. Reflect and see if you did the things you said you would do. If you messed up today, don't get discouraged. Tomorrow is a new day. Rehearse in your mind how you'll react differently if a similar situation shows up again. What you track, you improve. Number 15, the price of not paying. Jeff once joined a softball team. They traveled a lot for tournaments, and they practiced hard. He was really excited to be a part of the team. One time, he suffered serious losses in business. He knew he had to do something. It was time for him to rebuild his life. And to do that, he had to pay a price. The price was to let go of one of the things he loved the most, the softball team. His teammates were stunned. "You're really leaving?" Yes, because the time he was spending on games was time he needed to invest in his future. Now ask yourself this: what's the price you know you need to pay to improve your life, but you're still avoiding it? Maybe it's distancing yourself from certain friends. Maybe it's putting the phone down instead of scrolling late into the night. Look, success has a price: sacrifice, discomfort, delayed gratification. But not succeeding also has a price: regret, mediocrity. What if? Skip the work now? Pay with regret for decades. Pay the price now? Enjoy the freedom forever. Number 16, the health first domino. Every successful person I listen to says the same thing: I started making more money once I got in shape. And honestly, it makes sense. There almost seems to be an inverse relationship between the size of your belly and the size of your bank account. The fitter you get, the fatter your bank account gets. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. When your health is dialed in, everything else just gets easier. You think more clearly, you have more energy, you feel better about yourself, your confidence goes up. So here's something practical you can do. Figure out what your doable number is for daily exercise. 15 minutes? 20? Whatever it is, commit to that every single day. For Jeff, for example, he chose 35 minutes. If he told himself it had to be an hour, he'd skip it on busy days. But 35 minutes? No matter how packed his schedule is, he can always make that happen. Take care of your fitness. Not because fitness is the end goal, but because it's the foundation. When you build the foundation, everything else rises with it. Number 17, the baby who refused to crawl. Watch a baby learn to walk. They stand up and fall. They rise again, walk a bit, and fall again. And they keep pulling themselves up. Even though they keep falling, they never say, "Walking isn't for me. I'll just keep crawling forever." They don't know about giving up, so they keep trying until they walk. Now look at you. How many things have you quit because you fell a few times? The business that didn't work the first year, the skill you weren't immediately good at, the habit you broke and never restarted. Ask yourself, what have you stopped trying? Get back up. Number 18, the 3-step formula. Most people overcomplicate goals. They create 47-step systems, vision boards, quarterly reviews, Notion templates. Then they do nothing. Here are the only 3 simple steps you need. Step number 1, write it down. Some people just think about what they want, but only when you write it down, you start taking it seriously. Write it specifically, just one goal, not just get rich. How much is rich? When do you want it? For example, I will earn $10,000 a month by December 2026. Step 2, look at it every day. Life will distract you. Sometimes you'll drift. When you look at it every day, you'll remind yourself to get back on track. Step 3, start with a simple plan. You don't need a perfect plan, you just need a simple one to get you started. Take the first step and do it every day. Let it compound. Here's what you need to do now. Take a paper and write down one goal. Number 19, the pull of the past. Try this experiment. Sit down. Look at the floor. Think about your life for 5 minutes. Then clear your mind, walk around for a minute, and sit back again. But this time, look at the ceiling. Think about your life for 5 minutes. Here's what most people found. When you look down, you think about the past. And when you look up, you think about the future. People on the failing curve are pulled by the past. They walk through life looking backward. If only things were different, I would be successful. If only I'd started earlier. Meanwhile, people on the success curve are pulled by the future. They're looking up. They don't ignore their past entirely, but they use it as a tool to build their future. What's possible? What can I build? Where am I going? Look, you can't change the past, but you can change the future. Learn your lesson from the past event and move on. Number 20, givers versus takers. There are two types of people in your surroundings: energy givers and energy takers. Energy givers brighten the room as soon as they enter. They make others feel better. Energy takers dim the room. They make others feel bad. Complaints, gossip, negativity. Look, you can't change a taker. Don't try. You can only run in the other direction. Here's what you can do. Audit your circle. Who gives you oxygen? Who takes it? Spend more time with the givers and protect yourself from the takers. One last thing. Remember when I said that over 80% of people don't even read one book a year? Most of them will never even find this channel. But you did. And you stayed till the end. That already puts you in a different category. If you want more book summaries like this, hit subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next one. Have a great day.